Welcome to Modern Day Psychology, where we talk about positivity, spirituality in the modern day life. And I want to talk to y'all about my dreams. I always said I was going to put my downloads on here, and I always going to give y'all. I'm always going to give y'all the pure me, and this is why I created this channel, not because of it's the Matrix and how they say YouTube is some type of world of the crazy people, but me myself, I do this shit because I love it. I don't do this shit because I'm trying to throw shade at anybody out of ill intent. I don't do this shit because I just don't have nothing to do in my life. I honestly love the knowledge of the source. I honestly love the connection. I honestly stay in that channeling of the primordial waters, the primeval waters. Like, I honestly believe in that shit. I honestly know in my head that Earth started some crazy way, and right now where I'm at of where I'm on that level is like how they was talking, like how I understand of what they were saying about the sun, and how the sun is like, the sun has to go, like when the sun goes through his phases. Well, when it's going down and it's rising up, it's like I'm picturing it as is like it's going through all this stuff in the space and the galaxy and the cosmos. It's going through all this stuff, and this is where a lot of this spiritual stuff come from, because without the sun, we are not able to actually live on Earth at all. So I won't say that's God, or I won't say that is somewhat of the reason why we are here. But at the end of the day, that is a major factor in life, because if we didn't have the sun, it wouldn't be a lot of shit out here. If it stayed nighttime on this earth, a lot of shit or whatever, it would be cold as hell down here. A lot of shit won't be able to grow. Food won't be able to grow if we didn't have the sun. So we need to understand what the sun, the reason why life is spiritual to a certain extent, because nobody ever been close to the sun. Nobody ever touched the sun. And the sun is our major source. And I'm not talking about how it's sun gazing and all that and how we just doing that. But so like my thing of where I'm just going to continue to push, and I know that spirit, no matter if you hear my content and I'm just sound like I'm just ranting and I'm going off and I'm pushing out my vibes and all that and getting them downloads out. No matter what you hear me say on here, no matter what you may hear about me, understand something. The reason why I believe in spirituality for real, the main purpose that I know that spirituality is true is this. So when I was in high school, when I was living my life out there in the streets, and I was thugging since I was out there smoking this stuff and being hot in the ass since I was 14, 15, 16, when I really started being out there, just out there smoking weed, going to parties back to back, clubbing every weekend, being at clubs, can't even control beer or none of that. I've been drinking and smoking since I was 15 for real, on a major level, on a major scale. So it was this girl, and I'm not gonna say her name, but it was this girl that I fell in love with, that and I didn't see me. I was never the person to really let a girl know that I liked her, but I don't have no problem with expressing my feelings when me and you get to talking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like a coward when it comes to love, or I'm not a coward when it comes to approaching a female. But my thing is, I just have this divine in me of where it's like, yeah, I know I look good on the low, or I know I'm handsome. For me and you to talk, you have to really show me that you care about me. It's not that I'm afraid to be with someone or whatever. But this is how this situation happened. Me and this girl, we got linked up and stuff like that, and me and her had the same energy. But the craziest thing that she understood my vibe, and this is why I say women are so strong, and women exactly have deep wisdom, because like this girl at the same, we was like the same age really, so it's like me and her talking. So actually, no, I was older than her. I was like a year older than her. So like, while me and her started talking and stuff like that, we used to be on the phone all night. You know, we used to be, this was the main one, but I was still out there in the streets. I was still out there in the streets. I was still being hot in the ass. I was still like, you know, I even started hollering at girls from her school. It was this one time, because I ain't going to make the story long. It was this one time I had sex with this girl behind the house and stuff like that. And the girl told on me. You know what I'm saying? And it went all mainstream on Facebook. And that's what I be saying about how I just don't like really do a lot of things that I used to do, because people used to always like tell my business. And I should realize, like, now that I'm coming back in my head, like my life always been like that. People always like been in my business. People always like been on what I've been doing. You know, even though I always keep my stuff low key and private, you know what I'm saying? So me and this girl never had sex. I've been with this girl for 3 years. Me and her ain't never had sex and none of that. You know what I'm saying? And the thing was, she invited me to her daddy house and stuff like that. And it was just this one day. It's like, you know, it was Valentine's Day. So I'm, you know, now that I know what Valentine's Day is, it really doesn't bother me, I guess. But it's still like, at that moment, I felt like it was important to me. So I bought her all this stuff. You know, I was in 12th grade. I bought her all this stuff, and I went to her school. You know, I try to show her that I still cared and stuff like that. So, like, I'm in the school, like, in the middle, and there's a bunch of people in here. There's a bunch of people in the school. Like, I'm at the school, like, there's a bunch of people. And they looking at, I'm fresh as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm fly as hell. I'm in there and got all this motherfucking balloons and shit. And and to mind you that I'm supposed to be at school. I'm at school and shit, so I'm at the school and shit. She ain't even coming out. So I'm like, all right, damn. So I took the shit back in the car. So while I'm like going down to the back to my school, so when school got out, I go to her daddy house after school. So it's like to drop off her presents and shit, her Valentine gifts. So I'm just sitting there and shit like that, and I'm like, so she come out and shit, and she just like totally like break up with me. But the thing about it is, she was crying though. Like the day, and I could feel it. Like it was just like, it was crazy, because it's just like, you gotta be mindful of how you treat people when they actually have that true love for you, and they go above and beyond to support you, and you just out of nowhere just straight betray them and act like you have the right to play with somebody's heart like that. You gotta watch how you treat people these days, because everybody is not the same. Everybody is not the same as your last relationship. Everybody is not the same as your friends that you hang around. You might meet a new friend and he might be loyal, and I'm being for real. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by I'm being for real is like, it's not like they just might just make you work hard for their friendship. It's just that they come off and be real with you and be 100 with you and keep it a stack with you and always be there and support you and shit like that. They you know what I'm saying? They'll cut you off. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. Long story short, I'm just sitting here, you know, I'm asleep, you know what I'm saying? I just woke up. So I'm like, yo, the same way me and her met, and the same way me and her, like, and I'm about to tell you, like, what happened, how the dream, and I learned that the dream is subconscious. So, like, the same way that me and her relation ended is the same way, but it just happened in a newer aspect. Like, me and her, like, I met her again. You know what I'm saying? I met her again, and she finally told me how she felt, and she showed me how she felt, and I'm gonna even be deeper with y'all how this shit really, like, how this shit real. So, like, I remind y'all now, I never ever had sex with this girl for 3 years. We've been together for 3 years. So, like, I never had sex with her. Probably the reason why I cheated on her. So when we was chilling and stuff, it's like it shows like she cried to me in the dreams and all that. And I was chasing after her and all that, and I was just like, come here, come here, come here. She walked away, and the dream brought her back and stuff like that. And it showed an episode of where, like, we was walking down this thing, and she fell. And I was just like, you know what I'm saying? And she was crying, and she just bust out and told me exactly how she felt. Dreams are real, because for that shit to come back to me like that, like, I know that shit is very, very important. And you know, and I asked her this one question. I said, I was like, you still a virgin? She's like, no. She's like, I had sex when I was 22 and shit like that. And it's crazy though. So, like, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. So no matter all this damn shit that you hear me talk about spirituality, yes, that is indeed true. And I still have to do the work, and I still have to connect the source on a higher level by showing him that I'm down for whatever he wants me to be down with. But at the end of the day, I started to believe in spirituality, and this is how I found spirituality. The knowledge of spirituality is by believing in my dreams, because I knew one thing that no one ever told me about my dreams, and I always told people about my dreams, and nobody ever believed me about my dreams. And I'm not saying that I could sit here and be dreaming. I don't know what my dreams could do, but I know one thing, that me seeing shit in my dreams and me just actually living them shits and understanding that I'm actually talking to people in my life and in that dream world is so fucking authentic. That's all I want to talk to you guys about. I don't know if you guys are going to care about that. It doesn't matter. But I want you to know spirituality is real, or the mind or the realm of another world is real. And it don't get no realer than that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things can happen in dream world. I'm going to tell you that. A lot of shit can happen in dream world. And plus you got like, I was listening, I was reading something, and it was saying how your third eye or your pineal gland, it's not going to be able to grow, or you're not really going to be able to get your third eye open, because of the fact that what you are eating, your toxic foods, your toxic drinks, shit that blocks your pineal gland, your third eye. And see, that's why a lot of people don't believe in this spirituality shit, is because for generations we have been pig eating, we have been slave eating, we have been eating slop. And what I mean by eating slop is that most of this food is already not good anyways. But see, me, I eat food that I'm not supposed to eat too. But I do understand that if I want to continue to use my third eye and have my third eye open, or my pineal gland, I don't really like to say third eye, but my pineal gland for the spiritual ones, I understand that I have to eat correctly and live my life in a pure way and drink water and keep everything on a pure level. It's all love here, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next video.